the day it happened, the day I saw the deduction out of my account, that's where my transformation was. The transformation didn't come from the coach, what he gave me, and the tidbits and the strategies. The transformation came the day I invested in myself. It was liberating. Like, I took on a new identity. Now I am a person that's worth that, right? It's about it's about your self-worth. There you are on the floor, almost cash poor.
Yep.
And now your wife is working with you, quit her job.
Yep.
Like, what would you say have been some of the key points that helped you grow?
Books, reading books, mentors, masterminds. I wish like books started with M, like manuals, mentors,
masterminds, manuscripts.
Yeah, manuscripts. That's true, man. Honestly, I mean, look around my office, dude. I got books everywhere. Like, they're so key.
What are some of your favorites?
There's a book right there, $100 Million Offers.
Oh, I got that.
That was a great book.
Oh,
so good. Who Not How. I mean, I'm just reading the list right there. Who Not How.
I haven't read that.
You'll like that. It's the idea of, like, instead of trying to figure out how you do something, it's a Russell Brunson concept, right?
Yeah.
The who, but he's the originator of it. 10X by Grant Cardone has been big.
Classic.
I read that book a lot. Think Rich. What's it called?
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
The Millionaire Mindset.
Oh, great.
Or the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Yeah.
That book. So many, dude. So books. All of Russell's stuff. Expert Secrets.
Yep.
That was a really big book for me. And then mentors was the next step. So books and podcast, and then a mentor. Or mentors was probably my next iteration.
How'd you get your first mentors? Did you just go off and start asking people?
Yeah, my first mentor was a guy who helped me buy my first real estate deal.
Okay.
And he was a real estate investor here in San Diego. And I took him out, or I met him at a property. He definitely thought I was a joke. I didn't take me serious. And then I was like, I followed up with him again, took him to dinner. I brought him a deal. So, that's how. And then my next mentor, I heard on a podcast, I called him, I went to his conference. And that's what I learned, dude. If you want people's attention, like especially people who are busy, because the best mentors are busy. Because they're doing stuff.
Right.
People are shocked at how much we charge. I'm like, dude, you want my time and my attention, you got to pay for it. Like, I'm trying to build a $1 billion organization. Like,
right.
I don't really have time for coaching, but we have it, And so that's what I learned, man. I paid for this. My next mentor who helped me on the real estate side of things, he had a conference. I went to his conference. I probably paid for VIP. And then I stuck around after like the happy hour thing and just kind of like found my way next to him. And, we struck up a conversation. I knew I could provide value to him and him to me. So that was the next guy. Next iteration was just mentorship. Like I paid you to help me with an aspect of my, my career. And it was my personal development. It was my morning routine. Paid for coaches on social media. Paid for a coach to help me transition out of full-time ministry into entrepreneurship. I tried to pay a guy this year. I probably would have paid him 6 figures because he was busy. He's built a $1 billion company. And I'm like, can I pay you?
Right.
You know what he told me?
What?
I don't have time. I'm like, can I pay you more?
Right.
Like, that's who I want.
That's what I want, yeah.
Because he's like, no, I don't need your money. Like, I don't need it. I need it.
Right.
So, unfortunately,
But
I wasn't able to hire him. So my third iteration has just been Masterminds.
Well, before we go off that, I want to reemphasize the point of paying for it. Like, we always seeing like what we can get for free, or how can I, bootstrap this. And I think there's a powerful element to pulling money out of your pocket and paying for something. One, because when you pay attention, you take it more seriously. This year was transformational because this year is the first year I've ever paid a lot of money for coaching.
Right.
I paid $15,000
Yeah.
for a coach. All up front. I saw the money go out of the account, right? And I told my wife, the day it happened, the day I saw the deduction out of my account, that's where my transformation was. The transformation didn't come from the coach, what he gave me, and the tidbits and the strategies. The transformation came the day I invested in myself and made that level. It was liberating. Like, I took on a new identity. Now I am a person that's worth that, right?
Yeah.
It's about it's about your self-worth.
Here's the thing, dude. And this is so key for a guy like you or me who sells coaching or mastermind too. When I started our mastermind, I wanted to charge $1,000. which was butt cheap.
Right.
Okay, I would have been broke way before that 4 months.
Right.
Okay, the reason why I wanted to charge $1,000 is because I had never paid more than $1,000
Right.
for a community or mastermind. So in
Yeah.
my mind, the reason I wanted to charge $1,000 because that's all I felt I was worth.
Your value, your value, right?
Last year I spent 6 figures on mastermind and coaching, and now my mastermind is 20 times that. It's $20,000. Yes, we've been able to create $20,000 worth of value. I mean, way more than 20K of value. That's why that's there. But it's also, I've become more valuable, right? And I've realized this thing is worth at least this much. And now that I've spent way more than that, I look at that and say, I'm confident that we can deliver that. And the point is, most people are trying to sell something, dude. Like if you're in sales, even if you're not in entrepreneurship, and you're in sales, are you cheap in other areas of your life? And I find that, man, like if you're trying to sell something, but on other areas of life, you're worried about price, that is impacting your sales game, dude.
Yeah, so it's called congruence. You're out of congruence if you're trying to convince someone to do something that you aren't willing to do yourself.
Yeah.
How can I convince you and sell you that you should pay a lot of money for this opportunity when I myself don't practice
Right,
that?
100%.
I don't walk that walk. I'm out of congruence, right? I won't pay that much, but I want you to pay me a lot of money for it.
Right. So I can just go complain about price to somebody else.
Right.
So it's like, that's so true, man. So like we have totally transformed the conversation in our household to adopt this mindset. I no longer oversee our budget because I no longer want to look at expenses. I hired someone else because it's important. We need to know how much we're spending, but I no longer want to look at expenses because I want to just focus on value and creating income. So we have someone else who tracks our expenses and who delivers a report that then my wife looks at and makes sure that we're on budget.
2 levels.
Yeah, I never want to see it unless there's an issue, right?
Right.
Because all I want to focus on is the top line.
Right.
Creation, value, income. And that way, when I get on the sales calls, the only thing I want them to be worried about is forget how much this thing costs, dude.
Yeah.
How much you can create, how much value you can bring, and how much income is that going to deliver to your bottom line. That's it. It's the only question you should be asking yourself. It doesn't matter how much it is. How much is this going to allow you to create value, income? If it makes sense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could afford $100,000 coach?
Exactly.
Who could give you $1 million worth of value?
Exactly.
I do.
And
I would have paid that guy $100,000. Did I have it? No. I didn't even know how I was going to get it. I was just like, dude, I'll pay you whatever it is because I know that there are some things about this business that I don't quite understand yet. That if I had you delivering value to me on a weekly basis, I could get there faster. $100,000 to build $1 billion portfolio is a freaking steal.
Totally.
And I would have paid it to him like that.
That's the nail in the coffin is what you just said, is being able to equate your time for money. So yes, you don't want to pay $10,000 or $20,000 for this mastermind. Okay, how long would it take you to get to the level that you want to be at if you just try to figure it out on your own, right? 10 years? Okay. How much is it worth to get there in 1 year? Is that worth more than $20,000? Right. People don't assess their time for money. They're like, I can't afford that. Can you afford not to?
Yeah.
Do you have 10 years to invest in trying to learn on your own?
And it's not just coaching, it's teams too. That's why I brought in this content manager. It's like, did I want to spend the money up front or just spend the money to hire her full time? No, I wasn't really ready, but I realized I can no longer afford a way to do this. Having her and the salary I pay her it will bring more income to other parts of the business.
Totally.
And so it's not just mentorship and mastermind. This is everything, man. And I think it's having that lens of people are not expenses, coaching is not an expense, masterminds are not an expense. The biggest thing I've learned about entrepreneurship, business, everything is about relationships. The more people you know and the more access you have to somebody, bro, you will win. I mean, we're looking at a massive deal right now in one of our markets. Someone knows that this deal is about to come online and we've been trying to get in touch with the seller and we can't. And so I just called someone yesterday and said, hey, here's the address. I need help getting this deal. Before the end of the day, dude, she had his contact number. She had made a referral contact who was willing to make a second referral to this guy.
Wow.
And so, this will be a life-changing deal if we get access to it. I don't know if we will, but at least now I got a shot. And my whole point in that is, relationships are everything. And that's really what you're paying for in any of this stuff, man.
dude. That's it. That's a mic dropper.